What's up, gamers? Welcome to another episode of Get Your Game Sense Up. My name is Biles, your annoyed average gamer.
And I am Super Kami. And guys, I hope you have a nice and safe Happy Halloween.
And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the reveal of the PS5, finally, and the unfortunate delay once again for Cyberpunk 2077. I know, it hurts. It hurts.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I just gotta say, I don't think it's that unfortunate, because I've been saying this for a long time.
Anyway. So let's go and talk about Sony finally revealing the PS5 and sending it out to all these reviewers and getting coverage and stuff like that. So it seems like people forgot what they did a little bit.
Absolutely. Like, honestly,
the moment they get it in their hands, their little sponsorship thing, yada yada, they're like, oh, look how amazing. I mean, I'm glad it's out. I am. But I'm just like, we're just saying, like, we cannot forget how long it took them to actually say anything about it. Literally,
I mean,
at the end.
They still haven't shown everything about it yet.
True.
Even today's Halloween, October 31st, we haven't seen any reviewers actually using the console. They've talked about it, but there hasn't been any footage of it except for the ASTRO'S PLAYROOM game. But there's still been a lot of stuff we don't know about it, and they haven't done the full reveal of the UI. They showed a little bit, but not fully.
Would we even really get a full, do you think Xbox would have a full reveal of the UI and everything like that?
I mean, Xbox did. They showed everything you need to see. I mean, the only reason why I'm saying that about Sony is because they said there is more that they're holding out for, right? With Xbox, we've seen everything. And, I have the One X, and my Xbox has been updated to this current version of their UI for at least 4 months now. So there's nothing I need to see on Xbox. I already know what it's going to be. It's not going to be a drastically different experience from the Xbox One to the Series X. Well, as we've already seen, the PS5 from the PS4 is different. And what they did show was great. They showed off a lot of things, but I'll get a bit more into it in just a sec. But what they did show off is great, but they said in that video, and there's even more stuff, but we're going to wait till another time to talk about it. And these things come out in 2 weeks? 2 weeks. It's crazy.
I mean, for me, it's just it just surprises me how there's no more conversation about what Sony did now that it is out in the wild, kind of, and we did see a little bit of what the UI is capable of, but for Xbox, I thought they were just showing the load times and the quick resume features and stuff like that. They didn't really show they showed some of the store.
Again, that store is what I currently have. It's already what I have on Xbox. And if you're not on the Xbox side, definitely that's something that could be new to you. If you're like a Switch gamer or even a console gamer. Okay,
so what about this? Do you think that Sony would have a full-on video 20-30 minute length feature on turning on the PS5, using it, yada yada, or will
they did that for the previous gen. Both Xbox and Sony, PlayStation had that for the last gen. There was a whole walkthrough of every single aspect of all the different features. What would it look like to edit a photo or a video on the PS5? What is it like to share it? What's it like to actually be in a party chat? What's the integration? Everything's about smartphones now, and they did just announce that new PlayStation 5 app experience. What's the integration between that and the actual console? I forget. I think that's really it. But I don't know, just feel like the only reason I'm being a bit hard is because they said there was more. With Xbox, I already know everything about the UI because I already have that UI. I've been using it for months. Yeah, they already had a big thing showing off their biggest features. And if Sony already did show off everything that there is to show off, then so be it. Whatever. But since they said there was more, I'm like, when are you going to show that more? You only have 2 weeks.
Sure. All right, so for the features that they listed was that on the home screen when you're playing a game, you're going to be able to see these little cards that will show you the game's progression, some hints, some achievements that you can get, and possibly some like helpful videos made directly from developers to be integrated with most likely first-party games. Another feature is the what do you call it? The pop-out video? Picture-in-picture video that Super was talking about, where if you're in a group chat with one of your friends and you're stuck on a level, or you just want to see your friend's gameplay, they can actually cast their gameplay and you could minimize into like a little window over whatever you're doing. Now, we don't know how far this window will work, but it's still a pretty cool feature.
Does that only work for like from PS5 to PS5, or could you watch like a Twitch stream like that as well?
We don't know. They've only shown it for like being shared. We don't know if it'll work for like actual content watching with Twitch or YouTube or Netflix or something like that, which would be really nice. That'll be a great thing to have, since people like to do those type of things. So, but I don't think so. I think it would just be for the streaming, like the way that Sony likes to work. They changed the home screen a little bit to have like your most recent kind of like what they have now, but a lot more polished. Let me see.
The store is a part of the home screen now.
The store is part of what is that? What does that mean? Like they kept saying that, but like it was like I didn't really understand. Like, would you just like slide over to the store and you're there, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what it was, because I don't know how it is on PS4, but on PS4, is the store like an app you click on and then it opens up? Yeah, so that's what they mean. So now that it's part of the store, it's not an app anymore. It's just there. So when you push like L1, it'll just be there, so you can instantly start browsing. Instead of opening an actual app to go to the store.
Oh yeah, so that's the card. Other things that you could do with the cards, which is in the new control center, it'll let you instantly jump into a game in friends that are in your party. Let me actually like quickly talk about this whole new friends and party thing and how it's kind of like messing up the current systems. Have you been hearing like the issues with the latest update with PlayStation?
Absolutely not.
I could be saying it, but basically what we've noticed is that okay, so let's say like you and I were friends, we talk, we have a group chat.
We're friends?
Why are you like this?
Yeah, God, I told you to make it very clear that.
No, that is not. No, we don't need to make anything clear. You don't need to see anything clear.
Just say that, like, you know. Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, we're friends. I'm so excited. Okay, continue.
Anyways, so if you and I we've been friends on PlayStation for a while, and we make a party chat, like a text chat, right? And let's say you want to invite someone from work, you know, whatever. If it doesn't matter if we're not friends, like if I don't send him a friend request, we cannot get into a party together unless he joins an existing group chat.
You couldn't just. He would have to be part of another group. You'd have to make a whole new group chat just to add him?
Yes.
Wow, that sounds
extra. It is extra. And it happens every single time you add someone. Like, if they're not in any pre-existing group chats, you can't do like the normal thing of just like adding them to the party and then they leave, you know, no friend request, no nothing.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So if you add them to your group chat, they will see all of your messages, all of your voice notes, all of
so it goes like they can see your previous.
They can see your previous history. It doesn't like start where they enter. Yeah.
Wow.
And another thing that we've been noticing, we don't know if it's a bug, but my friend would try to add me and another friend, and even though we all are in an existing group chat or whatever, it would remove him and make a new party with them. And then I have to like close our party in order to join their party. It just does it automatically. It's super weird. And there's been a lot of backlash. I think it's a mistake. I don't think it's working the way they thought it would work. So we should be seeing a change, but that's just like one of the issues that I've been seeing right now.
Very interesting.
Very. So the other thing with the new UI on the home screen is that you would have like this new explore page where, depending on what you're following, they kind of have something like that right now where you could follow PlayStation streamers that are like streaming on Facebook or on the actual PlayStation platform. So those type of things, and you would receive news and information on your feed, just like what's it called, like the Google feed for Android and the iOS news thing for iPhones, whatever. Those, it's like that stuff. Whatever you follow, you can see it on your home screen, and you'd receive like special Sony related content for like new releases or any discounts and stuff like that. They talked about some stuff with the new capturing video or taking a picture. I don't actually remember. I can't really find it for what they said, but it's basically the basic stuff, nothing really too new there. And yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see what they have shown off. Just to go through them a bit, like the idea of having like a little video that developers would have put in to help you solve a certain something in a video game. That's actually something Stadia announced that they are going to do way back when. Was that
they did.
They never put it in Stadia as of yet, but I do like that, Stadia did have something in their hat first, so PS5 might end up using it first. And again, that would be primarily developer by developer kind of thing. It's not like you can access YouTube through the PS5 to open that up right away and then do a picture-in-picture that way. But again, I can only really see that being supported for like the first 2 years by the developers, first-party developers. I don't think the Ubisofts and the EAs and the Activisions of the world are going to be like, yeah, let's do this. Not that they shouldn't. It's like, I don't think they're going to spend the manpower to do that. Another thing, like I kind of referenced it. I like the picture-in-picture quite a bit, but I just want to say that Xbox had that on the original Xbox One. It wasn't a picture-in-picture, but it was like a snap, like part of the screen was snapped to the left or right, and you could watch ESPN, you could watch live TV, or you could watch YouTube or Netflix on the console. That was, back in the day when Xbox was when everybody accuses of Xbox of being all about the TV first and gaming second lifestyle. But Xbox had that exact thing on the initial Xbox One, because I would watch YouTube while I would play games like Destiny. I remember specifically doing that. And they got rid of that when they went to the Windows 10 home screen, way back in, let's say, like 2015. So they only had it for like the first year or two. But it is cool to see that Sony is doing it. But just want to say, Xbox got a lot of flack for doing that exact same thing. But we'll see how it is.
Well, the reason why they got flack for it is because it wasn't like they were pushing too much of that DVR motion stuff.
I understand, but we're talking about, we did just say, hey, it's cool that you can watch your friends, but we don't know if you could watch YouTube, Netflix, or others like Twitch, which would be really interesting, right? And of course, that'd be interesting. I do that already. I'll play Xbox and I'll be watching Scrubs on my phone, right? Because like I don't need to be watching Scrubs. And if I could just do it on the TV, that'd be great. Mm-hmm. But Xbox did that 5, 6, 7 years ago, and everyone hated them for that. Not just that alone, and not that people hated just that one feature,
right.
But part of that ecosystem of like doing other things while you're playing games. That your console's not only just for gaming. Hey, look at Sony. Just gotta put that out there. But whatever. It's great to see it's out there. I'm not really complaining about that. But again, we'll see what else is there to come for the series. For the PS5 in terms of their UI. If there really isn't nothing more, like, so be it. What they showed off was fine. Like, I get that the UI is important, but it's really the gaming. Just me personally, I feel like those cards that come up are way too big. They're huge how they come up and like take up the whole screen, kind of. Like they take up a quarter of your screen, and the Xbox just has that little bar that comes up on the left side. And sure, it does cover the screen, but I don't know. It's just it's different because the cards, they're big and they're animated. So, but when you move over them, they kind of like hover or whatever. Whereas it's just a bar on the Xbox, and that's it. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know. Too sure. Maybe I will get used to it. What's that?
I'm looking at them now. They are pretty big.
But yeah, so I mean, maybe there'd be a way to customize it to see how you could.
Yeah, that's another big big question, like how much customization will we have with the way that
Hmm.
they do have it set up? Because right, even right now, I don't think there is much customization
Yeah, the
besides like
PS4. I
changing
don't
the
think there
color.
is.
Like you could change the
Yeah.
color and then the background, but on this one it looks like you have your preset of accessible apps and what's in those apps, like your store and the games that you have played, your recent games playing and stuff like that. um and then your background will represent your last game that you were playing, so you would get that game's art in your background. So people are not sure, like, will you be able to put your own, or were accent colors removed and things like that.
Yeah, which is some people have been complaining about the Xbox Series X UI, and again, I did say it's the exact same UI I have now. But one of the things that is beneficial about the Xbox is it is very customizable. It's totally, you can put exactly what you want to see in your home screen and what you don't want to see. If you don't want the store Game Pass to be on the home screen, you just take it off. You can customize every aspect of the screen, really. And that little game bar that pops up, you can customize the order of what you want to access first. If you want to access your friends first, if you want to access your profile first, or parties, all of that is very customizable. So it would be great to see if PlayStation had the same. But moving on, the other really big thing is seeing how thick that PS5 has been. And Bios and I have been going back and forth really about talking about the size of it.
Oh,
Um,
the size.
but yeah,
Bro,
like,
that thing is a behemoth.
there was, for a long time, all we had were those 3D renders of
Mhm.
how big the PS5 actually was, of people doing mock-ups. And now that we actually have, like, seeing people hold it, it's like the size of like a torso, of someone's torso. It's
Yeah,
huge.
it's huge. I think it's as big as the PC that my PC that I have right now.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
pretty big.
big boy. That's a
Yeah.
big
Yeah, that's
boy
a
or
big
big
boy.
girl. It's like,
Especially with if you get the PS5 with the disc drive. Oh,
yeah, it just
bro.
makes it extra chunky for like
Yeah.
no reason.
I mean,
Like,
as like that's the whole thing. Like, I don't know whether or not I like whether or not I don't like it, I guess, because I understand where Sony is coming from with like the next step in, the next family generation of gaming and stuff like that. They wanted to make a difference, and they did by making it white and a big statement piece. Like, when someone goes into your house and they see the PS5, they'll know that that's a PS5.
I mean, they can have the same design, just smaller. I think that the design itself is a statement piece, but the size, I feel like they made the design first, but to get the parts they wanted, they're like, oh, this is gonna be a big thing. I don't think they intended it on
To
making
be
it
that big. Mhm.
Yeah, I think they really wanted a striking design, which they did. I will agree with you. Like, when you walk in, you're like, that's a PS5. But like,
Yeah.
the main conversation we've been having is, I really think, because people have been talking about in the games industry about how big it is and will it fit your modern entertainment setup,
Mhm.
I think Sony will be kind of forced to expedite their plans of a PS5 Slim. Those usually come out about 2 years after the base console, but I think they could even push it out to next year, because that could really be affecting people's purchasing decisions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have somewhere to put that.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it on the floor.
Hmm. That's very true. Yeah. As far as the comparisons with Xbox, when it comes to like the discussion where, oh, if people have kids, and they like, kids, they're rambunctious, they'll drop things into it and stuff like that. And if you don't have any place to put your PS5 besides the floor, your kids or your dog, stuff like that, they can get to it.
Yeah, imagine your dog piss on your PS5.
Right.
Because it's on the floor.
Child. But
Right? Were they gonna tell Sony that, oh, I need a replacement because my dog pissed on the floor because you made the console too big?
I mean, it also does coincide with where it sucks that Sony waited so long to like reveal what it looks like in its dimensions, because I have some people at work, or just like seeing some people online talking about how like they're trying to find a new entertainment center so that they can accommodate for the size of the PS5, because they don't want it on the floor and they don't want it out either, because like they have like a clean setup. You know, people are like putting more time into the stuff, and also adding on to their expenses when they have to upgrade their setup or something like that.
Definitely.
So even though, you know, like that's not really Sony's problem, I guess. It just,
I mean, it will be, and people aren't buying it, but it's too big.
No, people will not get the PS5. Just
oh, definitely. But let's say, I mean, I could at least say a 2% of their, like 2% of their audience would be like, oh, I'll just wait for the Slim because it's too big.
Right.
Because everybody knows the Slim is coming, and it could be coming sooner than later, because of the size. Like people, you know, if we're looking at the past generations, size. I'm sure people would compare it to the 360 and the PS3 when those new consoles are coming out, but no one's ever saying, oh, they're too big to fit in your thing. Like, everyone's discussing, like, yo, this is too big. It's like, it's huge. It's heavy and it's really big. It's like a big boy.
Yeah.
And I really think, like, you know, next year they had a PS5 Slim that comes out. That's actually 1 terabyte instead of the 825 gigabytes. And that's also like an all digital console. And then they're saying, like, oh, it's even better cooling. It's like, dang, why did I buy a PS5 this year?
Yeah.
I knew you were coming out with one next year.
I really, really want to see what... I mean, it's like for both consoles, because even though, yeah, we had heard some things with the Series X about how it's relatively below whisper quiet, no matter what you throw at it so far.
I mean, there hasn't been real next-gen games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There hasn't been like real next-gen games like taking over, utilizing its hardware. So I'm really curious for what the PS5 is up to, because we all know that the PS4 Pro is a jet engine, or any PS4, when it comes to like any graphically intensive game or playing a game for a long time, or not even that long, it becomes really loud and pretty hot. So I really want to see if Sony has made things better with their optimization for the PS5. And if they did, like, let's say they really did a really good job for the improvements for the Slim, what would they possibly do?
Again, that's why I say the 1 terabyte, because to me that's the easiest fix, having more storage, because that 825 isn't actually 825, it's like 660.
Yeah,
you know, and even that 1 terabyte isn't 1 terabyte, but it's still better than 600 something, right? So that's the easiest fix, unless the PS5 is still loud, which from what we've heard it's not, but for whatever reason, if it did get loud, they could fix on the cooling again because it's new hardware. But I don't know. It's a big boy, and I'm interested to see what people are gonna say when the masses have it in their hands.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks.
And I'm definitely, I guess like the one thing I'm looking forward to is the controller. I really want to see if they did do an improvement with the haptic feedback. We had heard some good things, but as we all know, it just depends. Sadly, it depends on developers making their games use that feature for the controller, because if they don't take that extra step, it's just going to be a good feature that no one uses. I wish they just made it one of those things where it'll just work with like general stuff, just like how the touchpad, even though like for a lot of games you may not be able to do a lot of things with the touchpad, like paint or whatever, but at least in a lot of games you're able to at least like swipe up to pull up a menu, or you know, something like. I wish they made it like
but in that case the touchpad is just redundant for being there, because there's also a button that does the exact same thing.
No, I'm saying like just finding for those haptics a generalized use, like if an enemy hits you, like you would get that rumble, or you know, something like that, or something.
I mean, that already happened. But yeah,
I know, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying. I totally do. And when I was hearing about these haptic feedbacks, I think that was one of the best things about next gen. I was like, yo, I hope Xbox have that. I think Xbox already has the adaptive triggers, but I don't want to get into too much in that because I'm not 100% sure. But on the PlayStation side, the idea of like the trigger fighting back at you, or if you know you're playing a game and you run out of the gun is jammed, and so you can't actually go all the way down, or when you're using a bow and arrow, and so it's more tension to actually hold the bow if you're holding for a longer period of time. I think that's very cool and very immersive in playing that game. And I agree. I would like to see more games take advantage of that. Because I think the only game that's confirmed to have it is Godfall and Deathloop in that ASTRO'S Playroom. But the ASTRO'S Playroom is just a demo game.
Oh, yeah.
So the only two official games is Godfall and ASTRO'S Playroom. We don't know of any other games. I would assume games like Horizon Zero Dawn will have it. I don't know about Spider-Man. They didn't say anything about Spider-Man having the adaptive feedback. But again, I agree with you. I would like for more games and more. I think it's a cool idea. I would love for Xbox to do something like that. At least with the triggers. Because to me, that's so cool. Like if you're like in a racing game, or if you're playing a game like Cyberpunk and you're driving through mud and the car's stuck and you're trying to get it out of there, like, I don't know, it's just cool. It's really cool. It is really cool.
Alrighty, switching gears to. I want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it because it's going to make me think about it.
Hey.
So, for those of you who know or don't know, Cyberpunk 2077, the latest upcoming huge yada yada biggest game made in history, yada yada yada, has been delayed for the 7th time?
It's technically the 3rd time. It's the 4th release date, but 3rd delay.
3 delays too many, in my opinion. So it's been delayed again, and it is so frustrating. Like, I get it, I do, but it just gets into like the stuff I've been talking about before. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and talk about why they delayed the game. So, according to their when they posted their yellow board of death,
love to see it.
Hate to see it. Hate it. They basically talked about how the reason why that they're delaying the game again to 21 days to December 10 is because they are trying to make sure that all versions of the game are being optimized on 9 platforms, which is Stadia, PS4 and PS5s, which is all the PS4s and the PS5, the Xbox Series and the Xbox Series X and Series 1S, PC. Oh yeah, that's all of them. Yeah. So all the PlayStations with the next gens, Stadia, and PC, which is about like 9 different platforms. So that's like the reason why they delayed it, and they believe that these extra 3 weeks will help them minimize more bugs and issues, just trying to clean things up a little bit more. And personally, I don't believe it.
Wow.
I really don't. I honestly, and the reason why I'm throwing myself into the I don't believe it camp is because I want to be proven wrong. So
what if the game has bugs, you'll be upset?
No. It's not that. It's this. So the game has just gone gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about a month ago.
So what gold is when a game has finished its certifications, it's basically ready to go, and it's ready.
Yeah, it's ready to be printed on physical. The game is done.
Yeah, right.
They're already printing it.
Right. Which was a huge accomplishment. Everybody was so happy. Everybody was also very relieved because now that's like the stamp of approval. Like, this game is actually gonna hit the November launch. Psych. But the conversation, even though CDPR said that the reasoning is because they're optimizing for all these things, they actually confirmed that it's ready for PC next gen, but they're having issues or still trying to finish the bugs on current gen and later gen, which is the first generation of the PS4 and Xbox. Which is so confusing to me because back when this news came out before, they actually came out and said that's not true. Things are going well, and then they got gold.
I mean, of course they're gonna say that. They're gonna be like, actually, we're having a lot of problems out here.
No. But the thing is, did they have to respond to that discussion if it wasn't true?
I mean, it depends who's saying it. Like, if it's just a community rep saying it versus an actual developer, I don't know who said these things. If it's just a community rep, he's just spinning. Their job is to spin.
No. Community, like, what do you mean?
Like someone who represents the game.
No.
He's not an actual developer. They just represent the game.
No, it like the people that said the problems were just like insider stuff. That that the problems before was like, oh, the reason why that so and so is probably gonna take a little bit more time is because of current gen. That was insider information that got leaked, or people were talking like they were discussing that, like, oh, what if they just drop it? It was just a discussion. But CDPR went out of their way to do an official announcement to say that's not true, But my question is, even if it was true, why did you have to say anything? What, like, it leads into my thing where I wish they never announced a release date. Now, of course, there's a lot of stuff with release dates where it has to they have to have it in order to make their investors happy and all this behind the scenes legal stuff. But I would just wish that there wasn't one, or at least not one yet, until they were at least closer to them being assured 1,000% that the game will be out, instead of having a date delay. They can delay and take their time all they want. I don't care. It's just that you're telling me a day, and people are planning, and I'm excited and I'm looking forward to it, and then take it away. No, it's gonna take longer. That's the frustrating part. Everything else is fine. They could take another 7 years, but just if you keep throwing that at me, that's what makes me frustrated. It's like, guys, just shut up and finish the game. Shut up and finish the game.
Okay, just to play devil's advocate, because it's Halloween and all that stuff, and
devil's advocate has nothing to do with Halloween, but continue.
I'm just saying it because I can say it's a free country, okay? All right, but yeah, just to play devil's advocate. I want to make it super clear. I'm happy for this delay. I'm pro delay. I don't want this game to come out even on this current gen, personally, but that's just me. But just to play devil's advocate, I believe, I understand that they have to say the release date for their investors because they're a publicly traded company, and they need to tell their people, hey, on April 16th or whatever, that's when they're going to start getting your money back that you gave us because we're selling the game officially, right? I totally get that, but I actually do believe at one point that they thought they would make all those release dates. I generally believe, like, hey, yes, when they push it back from September to November, I believe they actually said, hey, yes, that'll be more than enough time to be able to iron out whatever we need. I do think that, but like, I actually do think not only that they really said they were going to hit it, but the whole idea of working from home is probably a lot harder than we think it is. Imagine if you have a team of like 200, 300 people, and they're all on top of each other all day for like 50 hours a week or whatever. You get a lot of work done even through crunch, but now everyone's at home. I'm sure everyone's working from home as hard as they can, but communication and synchronicity is still harder in those standards. I'm sure there's some people on their team that are working in an office or whatever, but still, I do believe that they were ready to have this game come out in November. And like, I like the idea that you brought up the whole gold thing, because just to let the audience know, it's actually very rare for games to be delayed once they've gone gold. I think there's only been I think there's only been like 5 other situations in the whole gaming industry since like the PS1. Like, there's been like only 5 or 6 other games that have delayed after going gold. So it's kind of a big deal that that it got delayed again. Because even me, when I saw them say they go gold, I was like, okay, yeah, it's coming out. Even though I wanted to delay it. Once I saw it going gold, which is meaningless, to be honest. But like, they were saying it to the audience because people were waiting for the game for so long, and there was so many delays. Because lots of games go gold, but nobody cares because you're coming out. I do think they were gonna try to hit that November 17th release date, but hey, and it's really interesting to even hear that they're saying they're having troubles with those platforms, because they would have started developing that game on this platform like 7 years ago.
Exactly.
8 years ago. That game has been in development for almost 10 years.
Right.
So it's crazy. Like, I understand that those are older consoles and it could be holding them back. And maybe when technology got bigger and faster and stronger, they were able to do more with the newer stuff, like both the Series X. I'm sure they've had the Series X dev kit and the PS5 dev kit for well over a year now. And with the current the best stuff, the 2080 Ti's and stuff, and the now the 30 series. Sorry. And that the base consoles were being lagging behind, but it's like you guys are working on that first.
Right.
Tell me that to be the problem.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna bring up that they were working on current gen first. I don't understand how your current gen is still lacking, but you are stating, quote unquote, which means I'm not confident in their words, that PS5 and that next gen / PC is ready to go. But why isn't current gen? I would understand it a lot better if current gen NPCs was finished, but not next gen and Stadia. And I would have just the question would just be, why do you guys want to release everything at once? Why don't you guys just...
Hey. Huh? I don't play that game. I'd very much rather them do it all at once. I don't want to see this whole piecemeal. We'll put out current gen first, and then in 6 months, here comes the next gen patch. I very much want them to do it all at once. If you're gonna do it right. And your game is coming out now a whole month after next gen is out. A whole month, literally November 10th. The Series X comes out. Cyberpunk comes out December 10th, and Xbox comes out November 10th, and PlayStation was November 12th. We're coming out a whole month
after.
I would very much want to play Cyberpunk in its next gen version with ray tracing and all that stuff. I don't want to wait 4 or 5 months for that. If you're gonna do it right.
Okay, but there's a lot of games that aren't coming out for next gen that people are glad to just hold on for.
Yeah, but not every game is Cyberpunk. Not every game is Cyberpunk.
Okay, but
Cyberpunk's the biggest game of the generation.
Okay, sure, but I think a lot more people would be happy to play the game that you can also carry over to next gen, but you just wouldn't have the full on graphical update. You would have that standard update, better frame rates and such, but the full on 100% ray tracing or whatever, better whatever is surpassed the standard. As long as I was able to play the game, that graphical update can definitely wait. I can wait for that patch. I want to play the game.
I mean, again, to each their own. Play it. That's for you, but for me, I would rather if I'm going to be playing the biggest game, I would want to play in the best way possible.
I think a lot more people with Cyberpunk.
Well, clearly Cyberpunk agrees with me. Yeah, CD Projekt Red agrees with me.
The thing is, I'm saying that theory. If current gen was ready to go and next gen wasn't, but it's reverse. Next gen is ready, but not current. What's going on there?
I don't know. Maybe the current gen team was really slacking behind working from home. Next gen team's all excited.
I don't want to hear that. But anyway, so as far as the community accepting the news, obviously, a lot of people are not happy. There was this one guy on Twitter, I forget his name, talking about how he asked directly the Cyberpunk Twitter page, "Will this game come out for sure on November? In November, no take backsies?" And then they responded, 100% confirmation, and then literally the next day, can we delete this? People.
That's what I'm saying. That exact scenario is what I'm saying. The marketing team is different from the developer team. They're not really talking to each other all the time, because there's no way one day, the day before, they did not know. They didn't just wake up today and be like, "Oh, we're gonna have to delay this game." If they're talking about it, the day they announced it, they would have been talking about it for at least 2 weeks.
No. So, yes and no. So, apparently, in Poland, the things over there work differently. And I'm going to speak about it briefly because I'm not 100%. But the gist of it is, when the insider team was discussing the delay, they could not do an announcement they couldn't tell everybody, the PR team and everybody, or their staff, that they're delaying the game for some reason because it was a legal issue. It would have been a really big legal issue, apparently. So they had to do it to let everyone know at the same time that they actually were for sure themselves gonna do the delay. Because if they were to do it earlier, somehow it would have been counted as leakage, and then their investors would come for them. I'm not too sure, but that's
But my point is that there was someone, or there was a team of a group of people that were discussing it being delayed.
Yeah,
prior to everyone else knowing.
Exactly.
They didn't wake up and saying that, and I get that. Like,
yeah.
But the point is, because the marketing, the marketing team is different than the people that are actually there making it.
But
that's
even
why
the devs,
there can be things disconnected.
But even the devs didn't know.
Definitely. Again, the devs are just, there's a worker bees. They're not the ones in charge who are actually running the ship.
No. I'm just saying, like, how far like this is.
Well, BIOS, you should be happy. To be honest, there's no other games coming out in December. So now the whole month of December, if it actually comes out, is just Cyberpunk. It's just Cyberpunk. There's literally no competition. In games like Assassin's Creed, that was coming out 7 days before Cyberpunk, can actually make some money, and people can actually play it for a full month before they have to move on to go to Cyberpunk. So it's a win-win for everybody, because November was a very big month. Because, there's other games like Spider-Man and Demon Souls that are coming out, and all the launch party games that are coming out. So it's good. It's best that Cyberpunk is backing out. Definitely.
I personally don't think they're even gonna hit December. I think
Whoa!
Oh yeah, did we not talk about that? I think I did. I said the reason why I'm throwing myself into that camp is because I want to be proven wrong. But I don't think that though. I don't think 21 days, for whatever the problem is, like the fact that you guys had all this time. I understand the development is hard. It's not as easy as everyone thinks, and yada yada. But still, you guys did have a lot of time, and things are not making sense for why next gen is ready to go and current gen isn't. So, I think this could end up being a next year launch, early again for January. But I don't think they're gonna hit December, because it really, because like the information is everywhere. Like the devs are saying it's ready, and they keep saying it's not. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. The management team needs to do better. Like they really need to do better where the game is, so that they can get an assured date. Be 100%. I don't want to see another yellow banner. All right, guys. So that was this episode of Get Your Game Sense Up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know down in the comments. Do you guys think Cyberpunk will release on December 10th or not? And what do you guys think of the PS5? Are you guys giving Sony a little pass for not showing any information up until now? Or you don't care, you just want to get your hands on the next gen consoles? And all right, super, let them know where else they can listen to the podcast.
Hey guys, we are available everywhere podcasts are, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, the brand new Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts.
So just search up Get Your Game Sense Up and listen on the go. Or you could also look at the video formats on my YouTube page for BIOS 101 at youtube.com. And guys, always remember,
get your game sense up.